Assalamualaikum, my name is Mohd Haizad bin Saari from class TBA 2425D. Today, I will present for the individual assignment for the subject FIN657, Issue and Ethics in Finance. For this assignment, two news has been chosen about ethical issues that happen, such as bribing, pocketing and money laundering, to discuss and to find the cause and effect of the case that happened. For the first article, I have chosen the news from the Free Malaysia News. The title for the news is Ex-Indonesian Minister Nabbed for Alleged Graft. The news was published in 13 October 2023. This case was highlighted about the former Indonesian Agriculture Minister Syahrul Yassin Limpo that has been arrested and investigated by the Corruption in Education Communication (KPK) for pocketing USD 800,000 in public funds. It became the sixth case of corruption made by the minister since President Joko Widodo took over the country in 2014. This case has shown the corruption that has been made by the Indonesian minister who is pocketing the money in the public fund. We can see the unethical behaviors shown by the ex-minister Indonesian. The cause of this issue can be determined by several factors. Based on my finding, I have come up with three causes of this issue. Firstly, corruption has already happened in government. Next is lack of ethical governance. And lastly, cultural and systemic factors. This also has an effect whether for the individuals or the ministry sectors. For the first effect of the incident is legal consequence for the ex-minister Syahrul Yassin Limpo for the action he did. Next, it might affect the political ramification, and lastly, it might crush the image of the ministry institution. I have come up with a few recommendations for suggestion on how to prevent this case from happening in the future. Firstly, strengthen the political will and leadership. Next, there should be frequent audits and evaluation by the governments. For the second news, I have chosen the news from the start. The title of the news is Woman Arrested for Bribing an Official to Secure an RM87 million project. The news was published on Tuesday, 26 September 2023. The female suspect has been arrested by the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) for investigation of the case. She was allegedly offering a RM200,000 luxury car to the officer of the minister to secure a RM87 million project. The incident that happened can be caused by many factors. The factor that caused this situation is firstly the lack of ethical business practice. Next, this might happen because of the financial incentive need, and lastly, might be because of the systemic vulnerabilities. There are also a consequence of the issue that happened. First of all, impact on the ministry reputation. Secondly, shows the undermining of fair competition. And lastly, give a deterrence and anti-corruption message to the people, which is the positive side of this case. As for this incident, I also have come up with a recommendation for suggestion on how to prevent this case from happening in the future. Firstly, strengthen the project allocation monitoring. Secondly, the government should enhance ethic training for the public official. And lastly, the governments should implement the asset declaration to the public official. For the conclusion, the awareness of corrupt action should be spread in the ministers and government officials to prevent this issue being happening in the future. It not only degrades the image of the individuals but also the whole reputation of the institution, and it can raise a question of the people about the credibility of the institution to lead the country. So that's all from me. Thank you.